What does it feel like to be erased from the place you helped build, only to return as its master? Alara Voss knew the sting of betrayal better than most. For 6 years, she poured her soul into Nextlify, a tech startup that began as a scrappy dream in a cramped garage. She was the coder who burned midnight oil, the strategist who won their first big client, the heart that kept the team together. But as Nextlify grew, so did the egos. The founders, Mark, Jenna, and Lucas, started sidelining her. Whispers in the hallways, meetings she wasn't invited to, ideas she pitched that were dismissed only to reappear under someone else's name. The final blow came on a rainy Tuesday when she opened her laptop to find herself locked out of the company chat. A curt email followed. Your services are no longer needed. No explanation. No goodbye. Alara sat in her tiny apartment, staring at the screen, her chest tight with disbelief. She'd given everything, her savings, her social life, her health, to Nextlify, and now she was nothing to them. But as the shock faded, something else ignited, a fire she hadn't felt since the early days. They thought they could discard her? They'd learn what she was truly capable of. She didn't cry or beg. Instead, she got to work. Alara had always been a planner, the kind who saw 10 steps ahead while others were still tying their shoes. She cashed out her small 401k, took out a loan, and started calling every contact she'd made in the tech world. She spent sleepless nights studying Nextlify's financials, poring over public records, and tracking their investors' moves. The company was thriving on the surface, valued at $200 million, but she spotted cracks. Their latest product launch had flopped, and whispers of mismanagement were scaring off investors. Alara saw her chance. She reached out to an old mentor, Clara Nguyen, a venture capitalist with a reputation for betting on underdogs. Over coffee, Alara laid out her plan. She'd buy Nextlify out from under its founders. Clara laughed at first, but Alara's numbers were airtight, her vision relentless. You're crazy, Clara said, but I'm in. With Clara's backing, Alara started quietly buying shares through shell companies, moving like a shadow in the market. She worked 18-hour days, fueled by coffee and conviction, dodging questions from curious colleagues who thought she'd disappeared into obscurity. 6 months later, she owned 51% of Nextlify. The founders had no idea. They were too busy squabbling over bonuses and planning their next yacht party. Alara scheduled a board meeting, one they couldn't ignore. She walked into the sleek Nextlify conference room, her old keycards still miraculously working. The founders froze when they saw her. Mark's coffee cup trembled. Jenna's smile vanished. Lucas's eyes darted to the door. Alara, Mark stammered. What are you doing here? She didn't answer. She slid a folder across the table, her acquisition documents crisp and undeniable. As of 9 a.m. today, I own Nextlify, she said, her voice steady but laced with steel. You're welcome to stay, but things are going to change. Panic set in. Jenna tried to laugh it off, calling it a bluff. Lucas accused her of fraud. Mark just stared, his face pale. They'd underestimated her, assumed she'd fade away. But Alara hadn't just returned to rewritten the game. The board, swayed by her majority stake and Clara's influence, backed her immediately. The founders were given a choice, adapt or leave. Alara didn't fire them. That would have been too easy. Instead, she restructured the company. She brought back the collaborative spirit of the early days, promoted the overlooked coders and designers who'd been stifled by the founders' egos, and launched a new product line that put Nextlify back on top. The chat group? She reopened it, but this time, everyone had a voice. The founders struggled to adjust. Jenna left within a month, unable to handle taking orders. Lucas stayed but grew quiet, his arrogance deflated. Mark tried to apologize, but Alara didn't need his words. She'd already moved on, building a company that reflected her values: grit, fairness, and vision. Alara's takeover wasn't just about revenge. It was about proving that no one could erase her worth. She'd been kicked out, dismissed, forgotten, but she rose, not with anger, but with purpose. Nextlify thrived under her, not because she owned it, but because she believed in it. And in the quiet moments, when she looked out over the city from her new corner office, she felt something deeper than victory: peace. She'd turned betrayal into triumph, not by destroying her enemies, but by building something better. Years later, when asked how she did it, Alara would smile and say, They thought they could silence me. They forgot I knew how to roar. Her story spread, not just in tech circles, but among anyone who'd ever been underestimated. It wasn't just about buying a company, it was about reclaiming a dream. And in that, Alara Voss became a legend, a reminder that the ones who are cast out can come back to change everything.